Gentlemen, welcome back. Today I have a very quick video for you on how you can avoid getting cooked by your job. So I did a short form video on this earlier this week. It was, a bit playful, but a bit practical as well. I gave you some protocols that you can use if you're working a long hour, high stress, high profile corporate job like I used to myself as a corporate lawyer. Protocols that you can use to both mitigate the detriments that inherently come with the job, but as well leverage the opportunities you have at your disposal with a job like that you can use to build and maintain elite health and performance. So I'll just quickly run through these again. Get a standing desk, get outside at lunch. You want to make sure you're not succumbing to the sedentary lifestyle. These are relatively easy things to implement that if you do implement them every day, they're going to have massive returns on your health. You also want to invest in a pair of quality blue blockers. This is going to ensure you do not get chronically elevated cortisol, from staring into that blue light all day, every day. You can also turn on red shift, night shift on your screens later in the day as well. That's really helpful. Leverage free coffee. So anybody else that doesn't work in corporate doesn't get access to free coffee all day, every day. You may want caffeine max for numerous reasons. It will have a multitude of benefits for your dopamine receptors. But whatever the case, this is the principle that I want to kind of get you thinking about, which is what are the opportunities in the corporate world you can use that are unique to you and will have beneficial effects on your health. So free coffee may or may not be that for you, but there are some other things we can do as well. Obviously, these two here, I may or may not have done when I worked in corporate law. I would recommend them highly. But let's get into this here. So whenever I would go to a corporate lunch or dinner, there would always be pretty rare, pretty esoteric options on the menu. And this is an opportunity for you to nutrient max. So when you go to the supermarket, are you going to buy a load of organs, a load of offal, a load of octopus, lobster? No, because you either can't even source them in the supermarket, or even if you can, chances are you don't know how to cook them well enough so they are delicious as well as nutritious. As a result, you never eat food such as these, and you are missing out on all the nutrients you get in food such as these. So when you go to a lunch or dinner, and there is something a bit strange, a bit esoteric on the table, you should be eating it. Every law, lunch and dinner I went to, there was some kind of bone marrow. This is obviously an opportunity to offal max, to get that glycine in, all those amino acids we don't usually get from just your bog standard steak. So when you're invited to a lunch or dinner, don't use it as an opportunity to load up on the booze, load up on the seed oils. Look for the esoteric options and the nutrients, that you can garner from those. Out of office maxing. This you need to be doing. You need to be getting yourself outside of the bubble that is your workplace as much as possible. And obviously this is physically good for you, just getting the movement in, getting natural sunlight and the rest of it. But it's also essential for the mind, for the soul. When you start to identify with your work, because you never leave that damn place, it becomes your personality, it becomes who you are. And that is going to sap you spiritually, and it's going to sap your health physically as well, on a stress level way that is incredibly difficult to come back from. So you need to be taking yourself out of that office environment as much as possible, reminding yourself that you are a free thinking human being at the end of the day. So get outside on your lunchtime walks, and as well, take just every opportunity there is in the job to get outside. So in law, we need contracts delivering in person sometimes, deeds delivering in person, etc. I would always be the person to volunteer to get out of the office, to go and take this to another firm, to the client, whatever it was, to go and mail something in person. I would be that person volunteering because I just wanted to get out of the office. I mean, that's because I hated my job. But even if you love your job, you should still be looking to get outside of the bubble as much as possible. So look to out of office max at every opportunity. Health club maxing. As a high profile corporate worker, you will have access to a health club most likely. Why are you not leveraging this? Sauna, cold plunge, massage. The average member of the public cannot afford a massage. The average athlete would love to be able to have a massage every week, 2 massages every week. The parasympathetic activation you get from that is unmatched, and you need it considering how high stress your job is. At health clubs these days, you're even getting red light therapies and that kind of thing. Biohacking is very much making its way into that space. So you need to be leveraging this as well. Obviously, you've got the golf course, you've got the tennis courts. It's just health clubs are healthy, funnily enough. So why aren't you leveraging them? Obviously, a pool, like I said, tennis, golf. You need to be taking advantage of the unique opportunities you get having this at your disposal, because the average member of the public does not. And as well, don't just exercise. This is a mentality shift here. If you say to your supervisor, to your boss, I was late because I was exercising, or I need to go now because I need to go to the gym and exercise, they're not really going to take you seriously. However, if you train and compete in a sport, if you have something you're specifically training for, they are likely going to be much more accommodating. If you say to them, I've got to go to my boxing class now because I have a white collar boxing match scheduled, I'm raising money for XY charity, your corporate firm is going to love that. They're going to love that you're doing something for charity. It looks great for them. They will help support you. And as well, it just enforces that structure. If you have to go to a specific class rather than just going to the gym, you can go to the gym whenever. But if there is a structured class you have to attend that, and they'll be much more accommodating to it because of that. A weaker option, run clubs, etc. I don't think they'll play into this as much. I don't think your supervisor, your boss, will, feel as obliged to let you go to a run club as they would to a boxing class, an MMA class, for example. But it is something that is structured. It is on a timetable out of your hands, so you can still use that as well. Maybe you've got a marathon you're running, a game for charity, just slap charity on it. Your corporate office is going to love that. They're going to get involved and want to support you in it, park runs, etc. Impose structure around your physical training, take it seriously, and the people in your office, the people in your work will take you seriously when you say you have to leave this meeting because you have a class scheduled that you need to attend to so you can get your training in. So there you go. There are just a few options. Really, like I said, it's a mentality shift more than anything. There are many detriments to working an office job, especially a high-profile corporate one that is long hours. But there are many things you can utilize to your advantage. You have healthier foods in your canteen than the average workplace does. You have, more freedom once you're established to be able to work flexibly, to get out of the office when you need to and want to get out of the office. You have tools such as country clubs, health clubs. You have contacts that you can leverage at your disposal, to get access to places that other people do not have access to. And you can use, whatever tools those places have to help you health max. And as well, take your training, take your physical endeavors seriously, and the people in your workplace will begin to take them seriously for you too. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them below in the comments section, and I shall see you for another video very soon. Godspeed.